Hello and welcome our dear viewers to a new edition of Windows. I am Basma Taha. Indeed, huge efforts are exerted by the state in order to flourish the tourism sector, as tourism is a source of the national income, and Egypt entails many beautiful and amazing landmarks that dazzled and still dazzling the entire world. And to shed more light on this issue, I'm honored to have here in the studio Rana, Ehab, heritage researcher. Rana, thank you so much for coming today.
Actually, always being happy to be in Windows to discover some new things about tourism sector in Egypt.
Thank you so much, Rana. And at the beginning, a very famous tourist website noted that the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum, and also the pyramids are listed among the top 7 must-visit sites around the world. How do you see the significance of that ranking and also its role in reviving the tourism sector?
Actually, when we are talking about the Grand Egyptian Museum, it's a very, very important thing, because when we are just mentioning what happened in the world, why all the people want to see what happened in the Grand Egyptian Museum, we can talk about a lot of many things that happened, especially when we are talking about that all the people waiting for the grand opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, and how what will happen inside the museum, why it's that important for all the people. When we are talking about the numbers for today, for example, we found 1,000 of people visiting the Grand Egyptian Museum daily to see just the soft opening before the full opening. So I think with the announcement from the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, it will be opened, God willing, in the 1st of November. So I think all the world is waiting this, not only the Egyptians.
Yes. It is expected to attract millions of visitors. As we know, it is Egypt's gift to the entire world, and the UNESCO listed the Grand Egyptian Museum as one of the most beautiful museums in the world.
Yes, this is true. It's actually, when we are talking about the museum, we are talking about that's also educational place. That's also a place to just enjoying with your family. And I want to say, yes, the Grand Egyptian Museum, it's not ordinary museum like what you visited before, even here in Egypt. So the activities that you can do with your family, taking just a rest when you are just finishing a part from the galleries and the part from the archaeological monuments, and you want to take a break, then back again to discover more stories, to discover more monuments about the Grand Egyptian Museum. This
and
is what
it entails a huge garden, conservation center, education center.
Yes, exactly. So with the grand opening, God willing, it will be also the opening of the study place, and also we have now two very important things. We are talking about the children museum, that your child can enjoy their time there, not just only walking with the adults and hearing the stories. No, they need to listen to the ancient Egyptian heritage and the ancient Egyptian stories with a different way, and that's actually included inside the Grand Egyptian Museum. They have a summer camps for the students, for the child, how they can discover more about the ancient Egyptian civilization. And we are talking also about the virtual tours center that's inside the Grand Egyptian Museum. This is not the first time to be in Egypt, but actually it's the first time to be fixed in the museum. So it's just not only for a few months or 1 month and it will be delayed. No, it will be forever, to feel that you are inside the temple or inside the tomb or inside, surrounded by the monuments itself. And for sure, this is a very, very important experience.
Great. Also, Rana, the opening is expected to be attended by kings, presidents, celebrities, and we heard that the opening will not last for 1 day, but it will continue for several days. I would like to know more from you about the opening and its global impact worldwide.
Actually, when we are looking to that, what announced from the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, we will find it will be closed for the preparation from the 15th of October until the 4th of November. Even the grand celebration itself, it will happen on the 1st of November. So that means after the great opening, we will still waiting and host and welcoming many other important people during the 4 days. So this is showing us how the people actually waiting for such a great announcement for the Grand Egyptian Museum, and the impact of it for all the world. We can see it during the last 5 years. We have 2 more important events, like the mummies parade, that when we are transferred the mummies from the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir to the Namek Museum, the Civilization Museum. So all the people watching, all the people waiting, it's like a new movie on the cinema. People want to see what will happen. And also when we opened the ram-headed way in Luxor and Luxor city, between the Luxor temple and Karnak temple, so all the people around this time, they are waiting for this. Not only the Egyptian, all the media international, they are waiting for such amazing thing.
Great. Also, moving to another point, which is the new discoveries. There are new discoveries each and every day. There are huge ones in Saqqara, and also there are new discoveries today in Alexandria, Abu Ir, and these discoveries show that Egypt still occupies a leading position in the field of global antiquities. I would like to know, Rana, more from you about these discoveries and also their role in flourishing and in reviving the tourism sector.
Allow me please to talk about Alexandria and shed a light more in Alexandria, because actually when we are talking about Alexandria itself, now all the social media influencers mentioned we are in Egypt. We are not only discovered the monuments on the sand, we also discovered the monuments in the sea. So because of all of these propaganda and what happened, why it's a very, very special place, because we didn't discover or we didn't pick up our monuments from the sea. The last time we did this, it's before 25 years ago. So it's something important. When we are searching about Alexandria itself, we have around in the world, we have more than 20 cities. It's called Alexandria, but when you go to the Google and search about the city, it will be the most known and the most famous one that we have in Egypt. So it's actually because when Alexander the Great started his going around all the world, the first thing he thinking about is come to Egypt to crown himself and to respect the Egyptian power, crowned himself as an Egyptian king, having more trust on his ruling for the world. So it may be the famous one for that, and for the civilization that we have in Alexandria itself, the monuments that we have, and also like what we have today, we have a great discovery with the sunken monuments inside, and it was also known in the international sector or that care about the monuments, like UNESCO. They are talking about the underwater heritage. So when we are also searching in such a topic, we will find the most known one here in Egypt, because the area that the level of the Mediterranean Sea has become higher day after day, year after year. So that caused a lot of part from Alexandria, which is called in the Greek Heraclean. It's become underwater. So when you are doing a diving or something, you will find monuments around you everywhere, but some of these monuments are very, very important to us. So we moved some of the most important pieces, because the process of itself, when we are moving it from the sea and moving it to the land or to the normal air, it's caused a shock for the monuments. So before we taking it out from the sea, we are doing a huge process of restoration inside the sea itself. And after pickup, we put it also in something like lakes for a time to just to preserve it for a long time. And what of the pieces that we have, it's very known. We have 2 of them in the Grand Egyptian Museum. It also was listed in the UNESCO because it's from a sunken monuments that we have in Alexandria. One of them supposed to be for a very known queen in that time, and it's called the Master of the Sea.
Great, Rana. Also moving to another important point, which is a new initiative launched by the Ministry of Tourism. It is entitled We Are Egypt. And this initiative aims at reviving tourism and also showing the most amazing tourist destinations and landmarks here in Egypt. How do you see the significance of this initiative so far? How do you see its significance?
Actually, when we are mentioning We Are Egypt, if you just asking any one of the people who's living here in Egypt, what is your nationality, he will mention, I'm Egyptian, and he just feeling proud from inside. And he, when you ask him, what do you know about Egypt? We are the Egyptian land, we are the civilization of 7,000 years. So when we have something like a word, We Are Egypt, it's showing us that we are ambassadors for our tourism. That shows that we are caring and welcoming people. That shows how we are want to deliver the best thing to showing the people who is visiting us. They are a part from the home, and showing them what is our hospitality, because this is this title or this word is coming from the hospitality thing. It's coming from when you are welcoming someone in your home and showing him how you can respect him, how you can showing him your best, visiting, sleeping, going around, all of this showing what is the meaning We Are Egypt. So in a one day Egyptian civilization, it's very huge. When we are talking about the ancient Egyptian, so we want to transfer everything that's related to the ancient Egyptian civilization to nowadays. So we are just ambassadors for our country.
Also, moving to another point, which is the religious tourism. Egypt is well known for religious tourism. We have many well-known sites, mosques like Al-Azhar Mosque, also Amr ibn al-As Mosque, also the street and like Al-Mu'izz Street, and also we cannot talk about religious tourism without mentioning St. Catherine, and there are indeed huge efforts exerted by the state in order to develop St. Catherine, and Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli has visited St. Catherine several times, and indeed huge progress are carried out there. I would like to know more from you about the strategies that have been carried out by the state in order to develop St. Catherine.
Actually, we started to develop in the sector of the tourism in many different ways. So when we are talking about the religious tourism especially, we are talking about the journey of the Holy Family. Yes. When the Virgin Mary came with the Christ to Egypt, to protect from the Romans and so on. So the places they are passed on, it's very important. And for sure the top one is the St. Catherine, the place of tolerance. Yes. So the government did a very huge effort for the infrastructure of the area there, because all of the people now in Sinai Banduella, all of the people going to Sharm el-Sheikh, all of the people want to see how the Red Sea is amazing there, and after they finish, they cannot go without passing by St. Catherine. St. Catherine is a place, it's not only a place that's related to the Jewish or just related to the Muslims or just related to the Christians, it's for the whole people. So we have Moses there, we have Isa there, and we have also it was mentioned even in the Quran and the Muslims for the Muslims. So it's a very important a place to visit, a very spiritual place to just spend spend the time there, going up to the mountain and feeling the journey of the saints when they are going to the top of the mountain to be near to the God. It's very, very important thing. It's showing you how the people really care in that time to publish the peace in general. So it's not only about a tourism place, it's a place that you can visit and giving you all the peace in the world inside your heart.
A hub for religious and cultural tourism as well.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Yes. And also I will take from you, Rana, how about organizing trips, whether for students at schools or universities, to such sites, on one hand in order to revive the domestic tourism, and on the other hand in order to instill in the younger generation the sense of awareness of the greatness of Egypt's history and civilization.
Actually, when we are searching about this, just looking at the social media, we will find all of kind of the teenagers, especially when you're asking them how do you spend your summer, they are never mentioned that we are traveling to some European countries or whatever. They are mentioned we are spending our time in the summer here in Egypt and the north coast on the Mediterranean Sea. So this is actually helping us more in doing the Mediterranean Sea is like a trend. It's not only in Egypt, it's in the Middle East in general. So they are caring about showing how it's amazing to spend your time there in the north coast and bring your friends, foreign friends, to spend the time here also. So this is working very important, not only in the domestic tourism, it's also about the general tourism. And when we are looking at the culture and the heritage thing, we will find now a lot of museums doing amazing activities to attract such a kind of age for the people, to educate them about their heritage. It's not only about the Egyptian people, it's also about international. We are doing a lot of training from outside Egypt, comes to Egypt to see how we are doing in our museums, because the development is very, very huge thing. And when we are doing a new museum, we do it to be one of the top performance, not only in Egypt and all the world. So all the technologies that we can add, all the display shows, everything in the museum, it's just meet the importance that we have in the field of the museums.
Great. Also moving to another important point, which is the medical tourism. Also Egypt is well known for medical tourism, and there are many sites here in Egypt that visitors seek, like Hilwan water, Safaga Sands, Siwa. How do you see the significance of such sites in attracting tourists?
Actually, during the history from a long time, we have many cases for a lot of very known people. They are coming to Egypt just to spend the time on the sands, especially in Aswan and Siwa, like what you mentioned, and in the hot springs that we have in the Siwa, especially even in the salted water that we have in Sinai. So all of these places attracting people, and when we are talking about the medical, we have a traditional way that we are talking about, and we have the huge thing in the hospital fields and so on, and we are preparing such a huge amazing hospitals for caring about such a specific thing, and people coming from all the world to see these hospitals and staying inside it. And because I'm just caring about the history, one of the most knowing thing that when Agatha Christie come to Egypt and she started here to write her amazing novels, actually she coming with her mother because her mother want to take a medicine from Egypt. So this is one of the things that affects the people, and not all the people knowing this, but because Egypt is a meditation for sure, and spending a time if you have a kind of illness or something, but I think people come here because the vibes in Egypt is completely different.
Yes,
So they
indeed.
are coming for the people, they are coming because we are Egypt, so they spending more time and the vibes, feeling happy everywhere. So this is the true thing why the people
Yes.
comes to Egypt for a
In
visit.
addition to the amazing weather and the unique weather that Egypt enjoys.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So when we are talking in the winter season, it's not that harsh, and we didn't have this snow everywhere and so on. Even in the summer season, you can just spend in the coastal, the Red
like
Sea and the North
Alexandria,
Coast.
Marsa Matruh.
Exactly, all of these places that you can enjoy. If you just didn't like the winter season, you can go to Luxor and Aswan cities and enjoying the temples and tombs with the Nile River, everything. So it's actually
Hurghada, Sharm
advantage.
el-Sheikh.
Exactly,
Yes.
it's advantage for us. So all the seasons, Egypt is a trend.
Yes, great. We will continue our discussion, but allow me to go to a short break and then we will be back. Give viewers a short break and then we will be back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers, and still with my dear guest Rana Ehab and talking about tourism. Rana, moving also to another point, which is the significance of diversifying sources of tourism and not relying on certain markets. We have seen also new nationalities coming and visit Egypt, Romanian, Brazilian, Australian visitors. How do you see the significance of diversifying the sources of tourism?
Actually, this is one of the also positive things that we can talk about the Egyptian land in general, and also one of the most trending things nowadays, especially in August, even it's in the hot season or in the summer season, the people they love to enjoying spending their time in the deserts. So we have around in August that it was published that we have around 300 tourism companies doing tours inside the deserts for more than 20,000 people coming to Egypt to visit the place,
Great
enjoying
number, very big number.
enjoying
Yes.
their time in the desert with stargazing and so on. And this is actually showing us how it's important that the people looking for a new things. It's not only coming, for sure it's important. It's one of the main things for the tourists enjoying in the seas or in the coastal life, or going to visit such an important places that we have here in Egypt, like the pyramids, temples and tombs and so on. So it's showing that we are also looking for a different directions to attract different kinds of tourism. It's not only about the most known one. No, we have a lot in Egypt. We have things we need to discover more. So when we are looking to the directions, different directions, Egypt, it's not only following the trends, it's also finds another way to attract the people to coming and enjoying their time in Egypt. When you are visiting Egypt for the 10th time, you have another thing and you found another thing to enjoy in. A place you will never visit before. So this is what makes Egypt again is one of the top destination for the tourism. What makes Egypt again people want to see what happens. Yes. People come, even they are coming only for 1 week, but just to doing something different.
Yes. And recently also Egypt was listed as one of the top 10 African tourist destinations in 2025.
Exactly, definitely. Actually, when we are in the Middle East, we have a lot of amazing places. When we are talking about Africa in general, we have a lot of amazing natural places too. But when we are talking about Egypt special, it's a different case. It's exactly different case, because we are talking about the monuments we have. Yes. We are talking about the weather we have. We are talking about the peace we have. We are talking about the level of security we have. So all of these things
history,
together,
civilization.
Definitely. Yes. When we are talking about all of these together, it's create something different vibes. When we are talking about with a tourist here, which time that you visit Egypt, it's rare to find some person telling you this is my first time in Egypt. Okay. So where they are coming and coming, and each time they are coming, they are surprised of the changes that we have. Changes for to be the best. So it's the changes in the infrastructures, the airports, the transportation, and everything. That's what makes the tourism is also renewal in Egypt, and being visited more than one time. Nowadays in Cairo, before 5 or 3 years, we have only one airport. Now we have 2 airports from in Cairo. So when you have just spending, which is not normal, to spending just 3 days or 4 days here in Egypt, and you want to just be away from the crowd, you can go to the Sphinx, visiting the pyramids, visiting Fayoum, and so on, and back again to just travel for Luxor and Aswan or going to Sharm el-Sheikh.
Yes, we need many days in order to visit all such sites.
Exactly. So all of these places are really, we are working very hard. The government working very hard to make such a different things. And also, when we are talking about this topic, we can see the efforts of the tourism, of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities. When the minister are going, I think it's each week in a different place to attract more people, to just open a new places for a tourism for Egypt, bringing more and new kinds of groups, and this is also very important in showing how we are working very hard in this time.
Great. Also, Rana, you told me that there is an initiative launched by the Ministry of Tourism in order, or it entails workshops, right, in order to teach people or tell them more about the tourist destinations and the tourist landmarks. Tell us more about this initiative.
Actually, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities did a very important things for the Egyptians during the last months. It's about having a website with different categories of the trainings that you can join in, knowing more about the Egyptian culture, about the Egyptian heritage, courses in hieroglyphs and so on. So all of these making people coming and enjoying their time, just spending their time in something important or something useful for all the people, and that's open not only for the people who are working in the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, it's open for all. And this is the first governmental website for a training to teach people more than about their heritage, their temples, tombs, and so on. So it's a very great effort. Now we are looking for the digital things and the AI and so on, and the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities on the way, on the track, to do their best, to teach their best, and not giving a space for all the people who's doing just not right things about Egyptian heritage. Most of the people who are talking about something wrong about Egypt, and now we have an official place that you can take your information from it, and this is very important.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right. Also, I'll take from you was Rana, which is the digital transformation. It continues to reshape our world, and AI also continues to reshape our world. How do you see nowadays the significance of digital transformation in also in reviving the tourism sector, and the importance of training workers at the different ministry, and of course the Ministry of Tourism, on digital transformation?
Actually, we are working on that before 5 years accordingly. So one of them, that when the Ministry of Tourism in 2020 doing the virtual tours for the especially in the Corona time, they are doing the virtual tours for entering the temples and tombs of ancient Egypt, even the museum. It's not having a chance to visit the museum because you are in a home. So just open your laptop, your phone or whatever, and going inside the website of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, seeing and knowing more information, feel that you are inside the tomb itself. And also, when we are talking about what we mentioned in the first of the episode, when we are talking about how the ancient Egyptian civilization is very important, so that you can wear your virtual reality glasses and inside the museum and enjoying your time, and this is also very important.
Great. Also, Rana, there are cooperation between the state and the private sector, and the private sector indeed is exerting huge efforts in different fields of life, and together with the state they were able to face many challenges. How do you see the role of the private sector? We will continue our discussion, but allow me to go to a short break. Dear viewers, a short break, and we will be back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, our dear viewers, and still with my dear guest Rana Ehab, and talking about tourism. Rana, before the break we were talking about the coordination between the state and the private sector in reviving tourism sector, and indeed there is coordination between the two sides, and the private sector plays a great and vital role in confronting many challenges. How do you see in terms of tourism, how do you see the coordination between the two sides and its significance in reviving the tourism sector?
Actually, this collaboration is very, very important, because when we are talking about the labor markets, for example, it's opened a lot of vacancies and a lot of more than job titles for people to work in, and we have the power, we have the human power, we have the manpower here in Egypt. So the private sector, for sure, it will be a winner here when we are talking about the new projects that we have in the northern coast, like New Alamein, like Ras Al Hikma. All of these places opened a huge opportunity for Egyptian tourism to help in the economy in general, to support more, to attract more visitors, to attract more type of the tourism here in Egypt. For me, it's very, very important. And when the both sides work together, it creates something amazing. The private sector or the businessmen, they are caring about their money for sure, and they are searching for the best way. How they will find more a best way than here in Egypt? We have the power, we have amazing places, and we have a government that can collaborate with you to make the best shape for your business or for your things that you do. So I'm actually very happy with this collaboration, and we can see more things that happened. It's not only with the Egyptian people or the businessmen that we have here, it's also about international people. So when we have, for example, just we are talking about the digital transformation, we are talking with a collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, for example, with all the social media that we have. When you just open your Instagram, both the filter and the one of the statues, and you will find a complete statue. This is also a private sector that we are working together to create unforgettable experience that we have here in Egypt. And for me, this is something very, very important. And we have now the opportunities to show your business, to discuss, and to doing your best, and for sure you will have a lot of money.
Great. Rana, unfortunately our time has come to an end. I would like to thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for your insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and just I enjoyed this talking.
Thank you so much. Always a dear guest on Windows on TV International. And dear viewers, by that we come to the end of this edition of Windows. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more on TV International.